Celebration Day for the Angel Tree program. We are getting results for 5,000 kids and 1,000 seniors in our community today. Much more on that coming up.
Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live. You're watching News 6 at 4.
We begin with breaking news at 4. Leesburg police just announced they are looking for 2 persons of interest in a deadly weekend shooting. So take a look at their pictures. They are James Fenderson IV and DeAndre Wright. If you know where to find these men, you're asked to call Leesburg Police or Crime Line immediately. 18-year-old Juan Gomez Jr. was shot to death on Sunday. He was found in a car in Berry Park. Investigators have not yet released a motive in this shooting. Now, we were first to break this story on the News 6 app for your smartphone. Search WKMG in your app store to be the first to learn about local breaking news. Closing down schools is the topic of an Orange County School Board discussion this afternoon. OCPS says that they have more than a half dozen schools that are operating at about 50% enrollment, and it's costing them millions. Your Orange County community correspondent Troy Campbell is live outside where that meeting is going to take place a little bit later on. Troy?
Yeah, and I just stepped outside of that meeting where they're discussing other issues in the district, but they are set in a matter of moments. We do expect them to take up the issue of those potential school closures for those schools that have seen such a decline in enrollment, and they say it's costing the district a lot of money. So the school district says that they're looking at closing about 7 schools. Now, they're saying this is because district-wide there's been about a 4% decline in enrollment over the past 3 years. They say this is amounted to nearly 10,000 students. The district is citing several reasons for this, including a drop in birth rates and families choosing charter schools instead. So, as a solution, the board will be discussing moving students to newer facilities in the district. On the list for possible closures include Union Park Middle School, Bonneville Elementary School, Chickasaw Elementary School, or La Vista Elementary, as well as Eccleston, Meadowwoods, and McCoy Elementary Schools. Now, we do not expect any final decision to be made. This is just going to be the first time where we will hear from the board members since we heard about these potential closures. We also know in these areas that are affected, there will be community meetings before any closures take place. So we will go back inside the meeting, and of course, we will continue to keep you updated. Live in Orlando, Troy Campbell, News 6. Back to you.
All right, Troy, thank you. A woman watched in horror on FaceTime when a man walked into a store and killed her husband. She took the stand today in a Lake County courtroom. News 6's Laverne McGee is live at the courthouse. And Laverne, we understand there was some emotional testimony today.
Extremely emotional. In fact, the courtroom is behind me. They actually just wrapped for the day. But what we heard today was extremely disturbing as we heard the widow explain that she heard her husband when she was FaceTiming him as he was shot.
I kept asking him, what is happening? What's going on?
Ray Shahade's widow broke down several times as she recounted talking to him on FaceTime as he was shot.
We were on a call, and all of a sudden, he drops the phone, and I hear him scream, "No, no, no." I kept calling for him.
According to investigators, Alex Lopez snuck into the store, shot him, then stole $100 from the register, as well as a vape product at the Fast Stop Superette in Leesburg in May of 2024. Surveillance video captured the moment he was shot.
Less than 100, I promise you, not even maybe 40, because he could open nothing but this. Isn't it sad, your life worth $40?
Abdullah was Shahade's best friend and business partner.
A friend, a true husband, a good guy all over.
While the state maintains Lopez shot him as part of a robbery, the defense on Tuesday argued that his wife did not see Lopez pull the trigger. Prosecutors are seeking life in prison, and the trial resumes tomorrow. Reporting live in Lee County, Laverne McGee, News 6.
Laverne, thank you. A crash of the Flagler Sheriff's motor unit to the hospital is now under investigation. It happened near Palm Coast Parkway and Clubhouse Drive. We're told both were taken to the hospital with what Sheriff's Office they're saying that are believed to be non-life-threatening injuries. The crash is being investigated by FHP. And a Apopka man is being charged with attempted murder. Investigators say he shot someone in the back after they drove him home. Apopka police say this all happened around 2:30 Saturday morning on Linkside Court. A witness in the car says the driver and another passenger got into an argument about giving him a ride home, which the driver eventually agreed to do. But when they arrived at the home, the passenger in the back seat got out of the car and shot the driver in the back. That witness said she had known the shooter, Cornelius Bass, for years and described him as emotionless as he walked away from the car. He surrendered to police hours later and is being charged with attempted second-degree murder. The victim suffered a punctured lung but is expected to be okay. People in Lake County are closer to a solution in a problem stretch of road that has been a very big problem for years now. Lake County commissioners unanimously approved funding for the Heartwood Marsh Road widening project. The county is set to be on the hook for $23 million, and FDOT will pay just over $6 million. Most of the county money is being moved from the South Transportation Benefit District, the rest from sales tax revenue. The proposed road improvements include widening from 2 lanes to 4, adding traffic separators, shoulders, bike lanes, and gutters from US 27 to Majestic Isle Drive, which is roughly about 1.5 miles long. Officials say they hope to get construction started by next summer. Well, today is one of our favorite days of the year, no doubt about that. It's Distribution Day, the culmination of weeks of efforts in Central Florida to help those in need this holiday season. And with your help, we once again were able to make sure 6,000 kids and seniors are not forgotten this holiday season. News 6 anchor Lisa Bell joins us now live. She's from the Joy Center. As those gifts are being handed out, Lisa, I see the folks lining up behind you. This really is one of our favorite days.
It absolutely is, Ginger. As you know, year after year, we love coming out here and meeting some of the angels who we've been able to help out and bless this year. Now, as you mentioned, 5,000 kids, 1,000 seniors. Come walk with me. Let me tell you, volunteers of the Salvation Army arrived here at 3 o'clock this morning to make sure each angel gets the exact gift that they were meant to get. Now, this all started, as you remember, back on kickoff day at the Mall at Millennia back on November 14th. And in just 4 short weeks, thousands of gifts were purchased. They were all organized. They are all inside this warehouse right now so that we can make sure each angel gets exactly what they are supposed to do. And Ginger, you know, year after year, we hear the stories, the heartwarming stories of people who come out here. Many of them say this is their first time, and next year they will be out here volunteering. We were able to meet up with some of them earlier today. Our Stephanie Rodriguez was out here early this morning as this line was also wrapped around the building, got to talk with some of them, as well as some of the volunteers who make it all possible.
The Salvation Army's Angel Tree program is benefiting 5,000 children, 1,000 seniors this year. I've been speaking with people here who tell me it would have been really hard to put presents under the tree without this program.
There's an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old.
Right here, and then we'll take it.
Thank you so much.
And if we didn't have something like Angel Tree, I don't know how I would have been able to be able to tell them, hey, look, this is all what I can do.
For many, Angel Tree is nothing short of a miracle.
It means a lot to me because I just recently had a surgery on my arm, and I had to pay out of pocket for my surgery, so it's kind of hard to be able to provide for my children.
You know, last year I didn't have my kids. They were taken away in the system, and then I finally got them back. And I finally get to spend Christmas with all my children.
The Angels in Action, aka the volunteers, make it all possible. Like Cheryl Stone, who knows firsthand how this impacts families.
It brings me back to when my daughter was little and times were hard, and that if it wouldn't have been for the Salvation Army, my daughter wouldn't have had Christmas.
For her, volunteering is all about paying it forward and blessing others. What is it like to be here and be able to hand the families the presents?
Heartwarming, heart-touching. It's going to be hard to keep the tears back. There you go.
Whether it's a teddy bear, a bike, or a stocking filled with love, Angel Tree is giving families a Merry Christmas ensuring they don't have to choose between presents and bills.
Times are so hard. Sometimes people are barely, making it with groceries. I was literally right there this month. So this is just a blessing to be able to make Christmas happen. I'm so grateful for the community.
Again, thousands of families and seniors receiving gifts from Angel Tree this year thanks to generous donations. Distribution continues in Osceola County on Thursday. Reporting in Orlando, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
And back out here live, we are now inside the Joy Center. You can see all of the bags that are filled with toys this year. This one for Anderson. We've got a bicycle here that will be going home with one of those angels that you saw lined up outside. Now, something that's new this year, Ginger, I know you would absolutely love this. They have asked people if they want, they're able to fill out a prayer request. And if they want, they can then put it on one of these Christmas trees. Let me tell you, these trees are full, and it has been so heartwarming to see some of these requests. This person asking for prayers for a kidney transplant for the holiday and the new year. So as you can see, it is just, we love this day. It's wonderful to be able to see so many of the people that they are able to help out this year. 5,000 kids, 1,000 seniors. This place is a well-oiled machine. Of course, it takes a lot of volunteers to make it all happen. We're going to be sharing a lot more of those stories coming up throughout the evening. For now, though, we are going to send it back to you in the studio.
Yeah, you just never have any idea what people are going through, and you can't go by what they look like because we all try to put on our best face every single day, Lisa. Yeah, I love the prayer tree. You're right. That's a great idea. Thank you. Well, no matter how hard you try, sometimes you make mistakes while painting. After the break, we'll show you a simple way to fix that. Jonathan.
Temperatures today have started to rebound back to around 70 degrees right now. Warmer days are headed as we get ready to close out this work week. We'll talk much more about that after this break.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
Hey, I'm News 6 anchor Eric Von Anken, the handy newsman, and we're getting results at Ken's home today in Apopka, getting the paint bubbles out of his front door. And there's one thing you really need to know when you do this. You're going to start out by sanding every single spot where the paint is raised, and then you're going to keep sanding. Okay, now here's the key. Every single spot that you sand down, you got to make sure to get to the bare surface. In this case, you can see it's metal because it's a metal door. This is the wood trim over the door. But otherwise, if you don't, the primer and the paint aren't going to stick like it did here. All right, now that we got the sanding done, we're going to wipe down the entire door to get the dust off, then we're going to paint. Primer first, then the color. All right, Ken, tell me what you think.
This looks really great. Thank you so much, guys.
I think what was going on is the sun was kind of baking the door, and we also found some rust spots when we sanded it down.
Okay.
So
But to see it smooth, amazing.
it's smooth and no more bubbles.
Yep, thanks. Yep.
My pleasure.
All right, so Eric also posted step-by-step instructions and a list of materials with links on clickorlando.com. Just look under Getting Results at Home. All right, turning now to our forecast, meteorologist Jonathan Kegas joins us. And Jonathan, you were talking about this yesterday. You said that we were going to start on the cool side and then things were going to warm up nicely. And here we are. We're seeing that warming trend already. It is phenomenal outside right now.
It is, yeah. We're running about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than where we were yesterday at this hour. You see it here. Big turnaround in Gainesville, running about 16 degrees warmer at this hour. 5 to 10 right up and down the I-4 corridor, about 9 degrees warmer at this hour. New Smyrna Beach. That puts us back into the upper 60s and lower 70s. We made it into the low 70s across most of Central Florida today. The land, right now, we are at 68 degrees. Groveland, we're hanging around 70. Same for us in Kissimmee, back into St. Cloud, 70 degrees on the nose. Nice, quiet evening. We do have some of the extra clouds in play. We talked about this yesterday with the breeze off of the Atlantic. We would see a little bit of extra moisture try to push on through, and there we have it right there in terms of the cloud cover. It's a live look in downtown Orlando. With our Light Orlando delivering Hope Sky Cam tonight, we have air temperatures hanging around 70 under the mainly cloudy skies reported at the Orlando International Airport. The breeze has shifted. It's still elevated a little bit, but certainly not as gusty as yesterday. Out of the east-southeast now, helping to pump in some of that warmth that we are feeling. And we are just going up from this point on as we move over to the next couple of days. Now, tomorrow morning, you still might want a light jacket, but we are right where we should be for this time of the year now. Back to the low 50s in Ocala and Denellen, 54 in Orlando, lower 60s in New Smyrna Beach. Now here's a look at the afternoon.
Your forecast is sponsored by Renewal by Andersen.
I think we'll continue to keep that sun-cloud mixture, more clouds than sun as we get into the afternoon. Rain chances still about 0%. Right along the coast, still those few stray sprinkles that we talked about for today and into the next couple of days going to be there with that breeze out of the east. Otherwise, though, back where we should be. Again, average day tomorrow in terms of where we should be again in the middle part of December, back to the mid-70s for our afternoon high temperatures. This is what I'm talking about here. Clouds and rain forecast. To see all the white on your screen over the Atlantic, kind of pinwheeling in, big chunk of high pressure well off the Carolina coastline, helping to induce that breeze. That's the arrows here. That's our wind direction. Again, pumping in some of the warmth and that little bit of extra moisture to get our clouds going. As we get into Thursday, we do have a weak cold front approaching. That may help to increase rain chances just a little bit, have it at about 20% for your Thursday. I still think most of us are dry, but we'll get that push from the Gulf this side as that front gets close. It's not going to do much in terms of our temperatures as we move in, as it comes into Central Florida. You'll see it right here. Again, we're talking upper 70s on Thursday with those increasing rain chances ever so slightly. And then as we get into Friday, we're still hanging around 80. Some of that, relatively speaking, cooler air does bleed down into Central Florida. only to about the I-4 corridor. So northwest of I-4 may turn a little cooler. Still, though, I think we're only dropping into the mid to upper 70s. And then we have a very quick turnaround as we move into Sunday and beyond, back to around 80 degrees on Sunday, lower 80s Monday into Tuesday. And I think, Ginger, that warmth is going to continue right on into Christmas.
Looking good, though. All right, thank you, Jonathan. After the break, the urgent recall for something that may be in your freezer. And some of the rules surrounding a new delivery service soon to be flying right to you. A live look at downtown Orlando from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope camera. You're watching News 6. We'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Light Orlando.
Well, check your freezer. A major company is recalling one of its ice cream flavors. Danone is voluntarily recalling its So Delicious dairy-free salted caramel cluster non-dairy frozen dessert. The company says the cashews could contain foreign materials, including small rocks. Danone says it has already corrected the issue and no other flavors are impacted, but some pints with the problem may have already been sold. If you have the product, the company has a toll-free number where you can talk to a representative about it. A new fleet of drones will take to the sky over Central Florida next year. Walmart has teamed up with the drone delivery company Wing. They'll drop your order right off at your house. Walmart and Wing showed off the drones today in Orlando. They fly up at 60 miles an hour and cruise at 150 feet above the ground.
We have FAA approvals, we are safe, that is our #1 priority, and we're here just to try to make their lives a little bit better.
When the new wave of delivery drones start flying next year, they'll be run out of a drone headquarters in Clermont. Well, did you know something you may have on your car right now could land you in trouble with the law? After the break, we'll show you what it is and just how much it is on law enforcement's radar. This is a live look now over Port Canaveral. You're watching News 6. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Here's a look at today's top stories. Any minute, parents of students who attend Orange County schools will sound off as the district considers closing 7 schools. District leaders are looking at consolidating schools because of a decline in enrollment. You can find that list of schools at clickorlando.com. Opening statements began today in the murder trial of a man accused of shooting and killing a store clerk in Leesburg. The incident happened in May of last year. Alex Lopez is accused of killing Raij Shehadeh during a robbery at the M&M Food Mart. Investigators say Lopez shot Shehadeh, then stole $100. Prosecutors are seeking life in prison. A crash that sent 2 members of the Flagler Sheriff's Motor Unit to the hospital is under investigation. It happened near Palm Coast Parkway and Clubhouse Drive. They were taken to the hospital, but the sheriff says their injuries are minor. The Florida Highway Patrol is investigating. A man who took a plea deal and walked free for an attack on a jogger in College Park is back behind bars today, days after his controversial release. Tyler Fite appeared before a judge for violating his probation. News 6's Mark Lehman is showing us what happened in court.
After Monday's arrest, Tyler Fite learned he will remain in jail, at least for now. He also had some other words for the judge today. And all this happened after a witness knew he was wanted, saw him on the street, and flagged down an officer.
You've been arrested for a violation of probation.
During a first appearance Tuesday, Tyler Fight attempted to explain his situation to the judge.
Just couldn't find the bill.
Okay, you got to hold off.
That's what the problem is, apparently.
The 26-year-old is back in jail after he was spotted Monday near Howard Middle School in Orlando. Michael Loff saw him and called it in.
Earlier in the day, News 6 had sent out that push alert about, he was wanted again. A arrest warrant was issued for this Tyler guy.
Fight was wanted for violating the terms of his release by not showing up for a court-ordered mental evaluation and not telling his probation officer he changed his address. Court records show Fight was released last month after spending more than 7 months in jail for attacking a jogger in College Park.
He checked withhold of adjudication, and he shouldn't have. He should have checked adjudication.
State Attorney Monique Worrell admitted there was an oversight when the prosecutor filed Fight's plea agreement, but also said it wouldn't have changed his deal or impacted his status as a felon, as he had been convicted in a previous case. With violating probation now on the table, Fight was ordered to stay locked up.
The warrant is no bond.
During the first appearance, the judge told Fight his attorney could request bond at another hearing. By violating probation, Fight faces up to 5 years in prison on the battery charge. In Orlando, Mark Lehman, News 6.
In the last half hour, State Attorney Monique Worrell sent us a statement saying, in part, the assigned prosecutor in this case exercised foresight at sentencing by recommending a probationary term following Mr. Fight's release from jail to ensure continued monitoring and court oversight. That recommendation created a mechanism for accountability beyond incarceration and provided a pathway for intervention if conditions were not met. Nonetheless, what we see here reflects broader gaps in our mental health system and underscores the urgent need for coordinated services that address these challenges before they escalate. Well, of everything that could possibly go wrong with your car, your license plate is probably pretty low on the list of things you actually think about. But believe it or not, your license plate could land you in jail. Or not. Anchor Matt Austin joins us now in studio to explain. Please, a lot of people are talking about this.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out here, Ginger. Since a new state law went into effect in October, reactions to changes have been all over the place, not just from drivers, but from law enforcement too. So I went to the experts to get some answers, none of which will make you feel much better about that frame around your car license plate.
Whether it's the dealership that sold you the car, your alma mater, or just something that speaks to your soul, even your Kia soul, the license plate frame has become a common feature and could land you in jail. Or not. Nobody seems to know. The Florida Sheriff's Association was proud to say its frame is fine. But that's about it. Ocoee police told drivers that a frame that hides even a small section can lead to a second-degree misdemeanor. So did the state attorney in Southwest Florida. Then there's the Volusia sheriff with this lengthy post declaring as long as the numbers and letters are visible as well as the yellow sticker, you're okay. Or are you? News 6 found more than a dozen recent cases where drivers got tickets under the new law, including several in Fruitland Park. Like this one, with a frame featuring palm trees.
Clearly a lot is blocked on this.
A lot is blocked on this. Primarily the issue here is the bottom.
Rachel Maddie is a criminal defense attorney with the Umansky Law Firm. She calls the new law vague, warning its intent may be to go after people intentionally trying to hide their plates with shields and mechanical devices, but that's not how it can be interpreted.
Because of the way that it's actually worded. The statute says you cannot alter the original appearance of your license plate in any way. The biggest difference is how it's now going to be able to be penalized, right? So instead of a traffic infraction, now it's a criminal offense.
News 6's Trooper Steve stresses while officers may not be looking to pull you over for slightly covering the tag, they can.
The law is basically saying anything that obstructs that tag can get you pulled over. To be safe, as long as your tag frame is not covering any text, I don't care if it's the top where it says Florida or the bottom where it says the Sunshine State or your county, then you're good to go.
Or you could just remove the frame altogether. Or not.
So we did just get some clarification from the state in a memo they sent out. The state tells us basically Volusia, as I told you there, is correct. As long as the license plate numbers and decals are not covered, they tell us your frame is permitted, but we are still seeing tickets given out for just the opposite. So hopefully that clarification reaches to all the municipalities and law enforcement.
You're right, I don't feel better.
I know,
but the
I'm
problem
sorry.
is you buy a car, and my car is going on 11 years old, right? And it still has the same frame that it came with.
From the dealership,
From
probably,
the dealership. But you're still, if it covers any part of that, the dealership isn't responsible. You're the person who has to.
It's on you, and dealerships don't like this either because, you know, it's free advertising for them, and they don't want people taking these off their cars or getting in trouble for it. So I'd love to give you more answers on this one, but there's just so many conflicting reports right now.
Yeah, and people are kind of terrified because if you don't know and you're driving along, you're wondering why you're being pulled over, and it's something like this, it could, especially when people are getting ready to hit the road for Christmas.
Not a ticket, a misdemeanor. Like an actual
That's
crime.
a big old lump of coal right there.
That is a
All
lump
right.
of coal.
All right, thank you, Matt. You clarified it a lot for people, but it still
Not enough.
is crazy.
I know.
It still
I
is
tried.
crazy. Well, developing tonight, the Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, is leading Muslim civil rights group in the U.S. is suing Governor Ron DeSantis. Last week, the governor signed an executive order designating both CAIR and the Muslim Brotherhood as foreign terrorist organizations. The lawsuit claims DeSantis targeted the group for advocacy and retaliated against it.
It does not matter whether you agree or disagree with our policies or our advocacy. What should concern every American is the implication of allowing a government official to apply criminal designations without due process.
The CAIR lawsuit is asking a federal judge to declare the governor's order unlawful and unconstitutional and keep it from being enforced. We're also following a pair of arrests out of Polk County tonight. Sheriff's deputies were called to the Polo Park neighborhood in Davenport early Sunday morning, where a retired nurse was found dead in his bathroom by his friend. Now, the friend told detectives he just saw the 67-year-old when he changed the locks on his home after his former roommate, 19-year-old Julian Trevino, was kicked out. Deputies spotted the victim's car driving around 5 Monday morning. It crashed after a short chase, and Trevino ran out. He was later caught by detectives after a short chase. Officials say he admitted to breaking into the victim's home through a window, grabbed a kitchen knife, and stabbed him to death. He also allegedly told detectives he broke in to steal money, and he was found with the victim's bank cards and phone. He's facing more than a dozen charges, including first-degree murder and armed robbery. Meanwhile, the Polk County Sheriff's Office says they arrested 64-year-old Stephen Phillips, an optician in Lakeland, after a road rage incident. Officials say he was driving erratically and brake-checked another car. As they pulled up alongside one another, they say Phillips pulled out a gun and pointed it at the other car, which had a 3-year-old inside. He was arrested on 3 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Heading into the holiday season, the job market seems to be lagging just a bit. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says the unemployment rate rose by 4.6% last month, the highest in 4 years. The report also shows the economy added 64,000 jobs in November, more than economists had predicted. The report includes some information from October because the government shutdown delayed data collection. Well, we mentioned earlier this hour, today is distribution day for the Salvation Army's Angel Tree program, and we want to say a big thank you to everyone who adopted an angel this year to help make sure 6,000 kids and seniors have a very happy holiday season, including our corporate partners who also once again stepped up to help us. News 6 anchor Lisa Bell joins us now live from the Joy Center as those gifts are handed out today. Lisa, your last report was amazing. Loved it.
Yes. Well, thank you, Ginger. You know, it is so fun to be here. We are just surrounded by so much warmth and generosity. And look at all these volunteers who are lined up behind me. All of these people coming in really have been here since 3 o'clock this morning to make sure all of these thousands of gifts go home to the right angel. Joining me now is Brian Walton from BFAR Contracting. You guys volunteer year after year. You're a big supporter of Angel Tree, so thank you for that. What are you doing here this evening?
So today is distribution day, and we are actually passing out the gifts to the families and getting to bless them on this special day.
So I got to see you about a month ago on November 14th during kickoff day at the Mall at Millennia. You guys adopted 30 angels this year, very specific angels. Tell me about that.
So the angels we adopt are special needs angels. So Brian Farr's late daughter, Maddie Farr, it's all in her memory, and she was special needs.
That's wonderful. And when you get to see the smiles on the faces today,
I'm tearing up here.
Right?
That's really nice.
It is so wonderful, so heartwarming. I'm going to let you get back to work because there is a lot of work to be done. But Ginger, as you know, one of our favorite spots here at the Joy Center is the teddy bear table. So each angel that comes here today gets to select their own teddy bear to go with them. Now, all of these teddy bears are put together by some of the volunteers. These outfits are, in many cases, handmade. Each one of them is dressed by a volunteer. And I found the perfect teddy bear for you, Ginger. Take a look at this one. I know if you were here, this would be the teddy bear that you would try to stick in your bag and take home with you. Yes, isn't it beautiful and so cute? And they're so soft. And you know someone is going to love having this teddy bear and unwrapping this teddy bear on Christmas morning.
That's what I'm hoping you'll
Not
stuff
you,
that in
Ginger, someone else.
I'm asking you to stuff it in your bag, Lisa, and bring it back to the station, but let
Okay.
someone else have it. It is
I'll see what
beautiful.
I can do.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
really nice. You know, what I also love about this is that some of the volunteers will bring their younger kids and show them exactly what it means to give back. And they learn at this age and they become people who do this the rest of their lives.
You know, it becomes part of a big family here. As I was walking by the line of volunteers earlier, they're all waving, "Hi, Lisa, nice to see you again," because year after year, they look forward to this. They know how much this means to the families. In many cases, as you know, they were once on the receiving end of the Angel Tree program, and this is their way of paying it forward. They know how important it is, and so they are happy to be here. It's the day that so many people have worked countless hours for the past month to make it all possible. So we're going to continue to be out here through the rest of the evening to bring you some of these stories of all of these people who are benefiting from the Angel Tree program this year.
Yeah, I love it so much. Lisa, thank you. And turn around, that lady's picking up that purple teddy bear. Go get it. Thank you.
She is? Okay.
Bye. Well, a fight to keep what was once a small farming road rural. Neighbors worry about safety, growth, and preserving history, but some say improvements are needed. Where the discussions stand tonight. Jonathan.
Nice and warm today, and it's going to get even warmer over the next couple of days and even warmer getting into Christmas. We're going to highlight all of that into the long range as we approach Christmas Day in a couple of minutes.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
With more houses going up near road number 2, that means more cars will be on the road. I'm your Lake County community correspondent, Emily McLeod. Residents say they're concerned for their safety because the lanes are so narrow. You saw that car that just passed me. It barely had any room to fit in the lane. Now commissioners are trying to figure out the best way to handle this, and they say it's a conundrum.
Lanes are narrow as 7.5 feet in several different portions, so a large truck can't fit on it. Semi-trucks certainly can't fit on it. School buses can't fit on it.
Brittany Lurch lives on Bloomfield Road, just off of number 2 road. She uses the road every day and says she and her neighbors are worried about additional traffic on number 2 road with new developments on the way.
It's extremely unsafe, and for us that live there, we experience it every single day.
Now, during Tuesday's commission meeting, commissioners discussed safety improvements as well as transferring a portion of the road from Silverwood Lane to State Road 19 to the town of Howey in the Hills. Sandy Russ tells me she is against the idea of transferring the road.
As rural residents, we need some protection, and that's what the Lake County Commissioners are supposed to be doing for us. We vote them in. We have no voting ability for Leesburg or Howey council members or commissioners.
Lake County Commissioner Kirby Smith was in favor of transferring a portion of the road.
I'm of the opinion that we can keep the pressure on Howey and on Leesburg, let them take over the roads, and then we take the money saved from having to maintain the city roads and pour that money back into the stretch of 2.2 miles of road that's going to remain county and will probably always remain county.
But Commissioner Leslie Campione pushed back.
One of the worst situations you find yourself in as a commissioner when you have unincorporated residents that are asking for help and you have literally ceded your control over being able to help with the situation.
Now, commissioners ultimately voted to hold off on transferring the road for another 6 months. In the meantime, they've implemented some safety improvements, including lowering the speed limit and adding reflectors to the center line. For now, reporting in Lake County, I'm your Lake County community correspondent, Emily McLeod, News 6.
All right, it is time now for a look at our forecast, and why wouldn't we? It has been just such a delightful day. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegas joins us now. There's a beautiful picture behind you.
Very much so, as the turnaround is on in terms of the colder air getting on back out of here. Chilly morning this morning as expected. It's a live look. Launch Credit Union camera this evening, Port Canaveral into Brevard County. Just a few puffy clouds, at least along the coast. You can stay up to date with the forecast. And there are some ups and downs along the way, more ups than downs from this point on, at least through Christmas, by downloading the free News 6 weather app. If you catch a great sunrise or sunset, you can also send us those pictures this evening. Any kind of cool clouds as well. Love seeing those. Mid-60s for us at the port. The breeze, it's still up there. Certainly not as gusty as yesterday. We do have sustained winds of about 10-ish miles per hour right along the coast. Every now and then gusting to about 15. We were talking about that yesterday, so in that ballpark again. Same deal up and down the I-4 corridor this evening. Getting into tomorrow, I think the winds back off even further. Wind gusts of about 10 miles an hour. Walking the park again, every now and then you'll notice the breeze, but it's certainly not going to be as prevalent as what we've seen yesterday, and certainly as what we saw today, is that wind is starting to back off just a little bit further. Temperatures to start your morning tomorrow. It's cool, but it's seasonally cool. It is right where we should be for this time of the year. Certainly if you're up early tomorrow, temperatures are going to be in the 50s, so still jacket worthy for some. It's chilly, but again, right where we should be for this time of the year. That puts us in the mid-50s in Mount Dora, 57 degrees in Oviedo. New Smyrna, good evening. We're going to start things off in the lower 60s tomorrow. And then we really start to go nuts in the temperature department. Still right where we should be for this time of the year. We're kind of building back to average tomorrow. And then it's really going to be as we get into Thursday, Friday, and the upcoming weekend, as you'll see in the 7-day forecast. A lot of warmth coming our way. We're at 75 tomorrow in Kissimmee, Ocala. Good evening. We're at 75. I do think we're going to build towards a more clouds than sunshine feel, like what we saw earlier this afternoon. Temperature is going to be working the way back up, though, even with the extra cloud cover trying to come in from the east. We're going to fast forward now as we get into Christmas week. So this is the upcoming Monday, December 22nd. We've talked about this really for the last 7 to 10 days now. The cold air, at least in the short term, is going to be clinging towards the northeast corner of the United States. All of this red that you see there, those are warmer than normal temperatures expected. And you see that really build and force to the east as we get toward Christmas Eve. That's Wednesday. We're going to be in the orange, so we're going to be slightly above normal. Relative to normal, though, big blowtorch towards the middle part of the country, and that warmth is just going to surge forward. This is what it could look like on Christmas Day across the country. I mean, we're talking temperatures near 70 near St. Louis, mid 70s toward Oklahoma City. For Florida, I think a lot of us, especially Central and South Florida, are going to be pushing 80 degrees. So I'm expecting it to be on the warmer side again for Christmas. And that warm up really picks up tomorrow again, pretty much right where we should be for this time of the year. Temperatures getting back to the upper 70s on Thursday. Rain chances at 20%. 80 degrees on Friday. And we're going to keep things right around 80 as we get into the early stages of next work week. Or you might have off because it's Christmas week.
Merry Christmas. All right. Thank you, Jonathan. Well, after the break, the Central Florida city looking to be called the City of Love.
Coming up in the morning, the cost to build a home in one Central Florida city going way up.
Yeah, where leaders say they need some more cash to keep up with a booming population.
Plus, the first of Orlando's big bowl games is kicking off. We'll tell you about all the road closures you need to know about.
We'll see you for News 6 Mornings starting at 6.
And as we head to break, we want to remind you to check out our prime time schedule on News 6 Plus. We have a new take on the day's news on News 6 tonight. That's at 9. Go in depth as we answer your weather questions at 9:30. Then watch the late news an hour earlier. It's all tonight on News 6 Plus. Download our streaming app for free. Search WKMG in your smart TV's app store. It's also available on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. If you are worried you may not have made Santa's nice list this year, why not make your own list? Yet again, no one won last night's Powerball jackpot. It now climbs to $1.25 billion. The cash value is still a very nice $572 million. This marks only the second time this year a jackpot has gone north of $1 billion has been up for grabs. And speaking of naughty or nice lists, coal is going for $108 per ton right now, meaning you could buy more than 11.5 million tons of coal with your jackpot winnings. Just why? Your next shot at the jackpot is tomorrow at 11. As always, you can watch the drawing right here on News 6. Well, Paris is often referred to as the city of love, but one Central Florida community is coming for that title. At tonight's commission meeting, city leaders are set to accept the donation of this City of Love sculpture from the National Chamber of Arts, who presented a proposal to the city this fall to market Kissimmee as the City of Love. Now, the statue would be installed at Lakefront Park on Valentine's Day, where a mass wedding celebration will be held. News 6 at 5 is next. Anchor Matt Austin is in the newsroom with what's ahead.
Did you just tell people how much coal they could buy?
I didn't mean to.
She's fun at parties, folks, I promise. Hey, we're on top of some breaking news right now. The search for 2 persons of interest after a deadly shooting in a Leesburg park, plus some emotional testimony from the wife of a store clerk shot and killed in Lake County. And your forecast is only minutes away. Don't forget, you can stream all of our newscasts and live cameras like this look at Daytona Beach for free anytime. That's on News 6 Plus. We'll be right back.
Schools in Orange County at risk of being closed down. The discussion's happening now in the pushback from some parents. Plus, a woman on FaceTime with her husband the moment he was shot.
We were on a call, and all of a sudden, he drops the phone, and I hear him scream, "No, no, no." I kept calling for him.
Hear her testimony as the trial of the man accused of killing him continues. And
I don't know anything.
New body cam footage shows the moments a woman was arrested in connection to a missing child case from the 80s. You're watching News 6 at 5.
And we are staying on top of breaking news today. Leesburg police announcing that they are searching for 2 persons of interest in a deadly shooting that happened over the weekend.
So take a look at their pictures. They are James Fenderson IV and DeAndre Wright. If you know where to find these men, you're asked to call Leesburg Police or Crime Line. 18-year-old Juan Gomez Jr. was shot to death on Sunday. He was found dead in a car in Berry Park. Investigators have not yet released a motive in that shooting. In Lake County, the trial of Alex Lopez, man accused of shooting an employee at a convenience store, is now underway. And today, we heard from the wife of Raed Shihadeh, who was on the phone with him during the attack. News 6's Laverne McGee has been in the courtroom all day. Laverne, a really emotional scene there.
Yes, absolutely. Very difficult for that wife. And we are here at the courthouse behind me, and it's actually wrapped up for the day. The hardest part, as you mentioned, was hearing that emotional testimony from the wife of the man who was killed. She was actually FaceTiming with him as he was shot.
I kept asking him, what is happening? What's going on?
Raed Shihadeh's widow broke down several times as she recounted talking to him on FaceTime as he was shot.
We were on a call, and all of a sudden, he drops the phone, and I hear him scream, "No, no, no." I kept calling for him.
According to investigators, Alex Lopez snuck into the store, shot him, then stole $100 from the register, as well as a vape product at the Fast Stop Superette in Leesburg in May of 2024. Surveillance video captured the moment he was shot.
Less than 100, I promise you, not even maybe 40, because he could open nothing but this. Isn't it sad, your life worth $40?
Abdullah was Shihadeh's best friend and business partner.
A friend, a true husband, a good guy all over.
While the state maintains Lopez shot him as part of a robbery, the defense on Tuesday argued that his wife did not see Lopez pull the trigger. And as I said, the trial has wrapped up for the day. Alex Lopez is not expected to take the stand. Now, the prosecutors are saying that they are going to be seeking life in prison, and we'll, of course, keep you up to date on all of this. Reporting live in Lake County, Laverne McGee, News 6. Back to you.
Laverne, thank you. Closing down schools is the topic of an Orange County School Board discussion this afternoon.
OCPS says that they have more than a half dozen schools operating at about 50% enrollment, and it's costing them millions. Your Orange County community correspondent, Troy Campbell, joins us now live. Troy, tell us what's going on.
Yeah, so right now staff is giving a presentation to the board showing reasons why maybe have that potential closure. And as you mentioned, it really sounds like it all comes down to money. They can't afford to operate a school if there's not enough students in there to essentially break even on the operating costs of that school. We also do plan after this presentation to hear from school board members regarding their thoughts, opinions on these possible closures. So let's take a look at some of the reasons why the district is looking at closing 7 schools here in the district. So they say this is because there has been a 4% decline in enrollment over the past 3 years. They say this has amounted to nearly 10,000 students. The district is citing several reasons for this, including a drop in birth rates and families choosing charter schools instead. Now, as a solution, the board is discussing moving students to newer facilities in the district. On this list for possible closures include Union Park Middle School, Bonneville Elementary, Chickasaw Elementary School, Orla Vista Elementary, as well as Eccleston, Meadowwoods, and McCoy Elementary Schools as well. Now, here's a clip of staff presenting to the board moments ago.
We estimate a $41 million loss this year, and that is a conservative figure. Once the final FTE, full-time equivalent numbers are confirmed, this deficit may be even greater. Because funding is tied to students, declining enrollment impacts our ability to staff and operate schools.
All right, so that presentation is continuing behind me. After that, we expect to hear from board members. Now, no decision is expected to be made. The district also says they will host community meetings in the neighborhoods that are affected to hear from parents before any final decisions are made. So we will go back inside and we will bring you an update coming up at 6 o'clock. Until then, live in Orlando, Troy Campbell, News 6. Back to you.
We'll see you at 6, Troy. Thank you. A new search for any trace of a young mom missing since 2 days before Christmas 2 years ago. And a major update from Friday, your Palm Bay community correspondent James Sparvero finally got answers from police about what happened. James is with the family as police continue looking for human remains.
Could the last person to have seen a missing mother of 4 have dumped her body here? Last week, in an update to my reporting about the mysterious disappearance of Marissa Garcia, Palm Bay police finally made an arrest in connection to the 2023 case. 32-year-old Stephen Eid is facing charges like disturbing a dead body. 2 years ago, police say Eid picked up Garcia to pay her to have sex, but according to him, she overdosed. According to an affidavit, Eid told police he tried CPR but never called 911. Instead, he threw Marissa's phone in the woods and then brought her body here, an hour away, on Hammock Road in Mims.
She didn't deserve to be dumped on the side of a road. No person, no human does.
Because police still haven't found Marissa's remains, her mother Michelle joined a new search Tuesday.
Why are we standing here and not knowing exactly where she is? We're on another goose chase looking for a body that's not here.
What gives you hope that something might change now?
God. It's God that's got me standing here today, strong enough to even come here and look and wrap my brain around the fact that something like this could happen.
I wanted to ask police Tuesday about the investigation, but I was told Chief Mario Agello wasn't available. Here's what Michelle would like to say to Stephen Eid. He's out on bond now.
Tell us exactly where she is. You know where you dropped her. There's no way you could have forgotten where you took her out of the truck and put her body. And I ask you to come forth and tell the truth.
And as this search continues, I'll continue to keep you updated on any new developments. In Brevard County, I'm your Palm Bay community correspondent, James Sparvero, News 6.
We're now learning another Brown student has been discharged from the hospital, but the search for the gunman responsible is still on. Law enforcement continues to release new images of a person of interest. Here they are, dressed in a hat, dark colors, and a mask covering most of his face. The FBI now offering a $50,000 reward and says the suspect is considered armed and dangerous.
If you look at the build of the suspect, the body type, the suspect's gait, his movements, how he places his hands behind his back, all these things are rather particular to one individual.
As a memorial site on the campus grows, the school's president says plans are in the works to honor the victims when students return from winter break. A church on Brown University campus is holding a community service tonight for those still at school. Final exams were canceled and students were allowed to go home.
It's important to understand that sometimes when you're nice to evil people, they kill you.
That is Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd discussing a stabbing attack between former roommates. Now, according to Sheriff Judd, a neighbor discovered John Torneo's body in a home last Thursday. He had been stabbed multiple times and was brutally beaten. After investigating, deputies found 19-year-old Julian Trevino, Torneo's former roommate. Trevino ran from officers but was found. He confessed to breaking into the home after he was kicked out, killing his former roommate with a kitchen knife and a wine bottle, and stealing cash and credit cards. Trevino is facing several charges, including first-degree murder and armed robbery.
I don't know what they're doing.
Well, you guys got to tell me something. What's going on? She has a warrant.
So we're getting a look at some body cam footage here. This is out of Marion County. Deborah Newton was arrested just a few weeks ago in connection to a more than 40-year-old missing child case out of Kentucky. So according to police, Deborah Newton kidnapped her daughter Michelle back in 1983. The child was removed from the missing child database in 2005. A Crime Stoppers tip notified police that Deborah Newton was living in the Villages under a different name. Here she's known as Shannon. When Marion County Sheriff's deputies showed up to arrest her all these years later, she and a nearby neighbor thought the whole thing was a joke.
Uh-oh!
Oh, they're coming for you, Sharon.
They don't want me.
They want Reggie. What's up?
Well, we're here for you, ma'am. Definitely here for you.
Whoa, why?
We're waiting on the detective to get here, but we have, with all the information that we do have, you have a warrant for your arrest.
They're teasing. They have to be.
Ma'am, we're not.
Yeah, that was awkward. Michelle Newton, the child at the center of this case, is now 46 and had no idea she was the victim of a crime until about 2 weeks ago. Deborah Newton is facing charges including custodial interference, which has no statute of limitation in Kentucky. What a story.
Well, there's been a spike in thefts on porches across the country.
Just in time for the holidays, what you need to do to keep your gifts safe, that's coming up. Jonathan.
Temperatures on the rise this afternoon. Tomorrow we get closer to where we should be, and then beyond that, we are heading towards the 80s. We're going to dial in a big-time warm-up just in time for Christmas in a few minutes.
This is amazing. It's a blessing. I wouldn't be able to do it without them.
The most wonderful time of the year, it's here, giving the gifts you donated to our Angels, this Angel Tree program. We're hearing from the people impacted. That's coming up. You're watching News 6 at 5. We'll be right back.
Cool clouds.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Launch Credit Union.
Hey, we're officially a little more than a week before Santa visits Central Florida, but today feels a little brighter, maybe even than Christmas.
Yeah, it always does. That's because it's Angel Tree Distribution Day, when we're able to give all the gifts you donated and give them to the people who might not have something under the tree this holiday season. It is really one of the most important things we do. News 6 anchor Lisa Bell is here right now. And Lisa, you drew the long straw because you got to be out there today. We love this day.
This is so fun just to be here surrounded by all of these Christmas gifts. I got to tell you, at the beginning of the day, this warehouse, the Joy Center, was packed full of gifts. Starting to get a little thin now as people have been out here picking up their gifts since 8 o'clock this morning. But look, I mean, these Barbies are going home with someone special today. We've got some Bluey toys here, a lot of bicycles here at the Joy Center. All of this is being rolled through those doors where our angels are lining up to collect their gifts this year. Our Alex Cook has been out here. He had the opportunity to chat with some of those angels earlier today, as well as some of the volunteers who make it all possible.
The Christmas spirit is alive and well out here in the smiles of the parents picking up gifts and the Salvation Army volunteers that are help handing them out. This is where they actually come out. You can see these big white bags come out to the parents, and they even help load them up in their cars over here. I spoke to some of those parents to say this year's been tough, but thanks to the generosity of the Central Florida community, they'll be able to give their kids the magical Christmas morning they deserve.
The parents I spoke with picking up their gifts all shared a common story. This year has been tough, but thanks to Angel Tree and the Salvation Army, they can still give their kids a magical Christmas. Like Melissa, whose 6-year-old daughter wanted a bike.
I just lost my job, and I'm recently starting to go back to school. So right now, this is a big help, and I really do want to say thank you.
And Jessica Burke, who has a boy and 4 girls at home.
My family, we wound up losing our income, so I wasn't able to provide the Christmas that I felt like I really wanted to be able to provide for my kids.
Florence brought her 6-month-old daughter to pick up gifts for the rest of the family.
This is amazing. It's a blessing. I wouldn't be able to do it without them. I'm a mother of 4, so it's a lot. The bills are high now, so with this as a help to offset what I can't afford to buy. So this is, like I said, a blessing. Angel Tree is amazing. It's my first year, so I'm ultimately excited.
No matter their parents' struggles, these kids will find new bikes, toys, games, and stuffed animals under the tree this year. Major Deanne Glick with the Salvation Army says the amount of families they're able to help is all thanks to the generosity of the people of Central Florida, including News 6 viewers who donated the gifts.
Over 5,000 children that we're taking care of. Orange County are the most generous people I've ever seen. I've been doing Angel Tree for over 25 years. And the stuff is just amazing.
For these families, this Angel Tree program is more than just gifts. It's a reminder that they're not alone this holiday season. In Orlando, Alex Cook, News 6.
And back out here live inside the Joy Center. Matt and Ginger, I know you will appreciate this. This is a Barbie dream house that is going home to a 6-year-old angel this year. Right behind this, we have another angel who's going to be getting this beautiful new bicycle with these pom-poms on the handlebars. So much joy here at the Joy Center. It's so fun to see this and to see just people's faces light up when they see what they're going to be able to provide for their kids this holiday season. We're going to send it back to you guys inside the studio.
Oh my gosh.
I put together a lot of those dream houses,
Yeah,
by the way.
I bet you did. I know you mentioned the pom-poms on
Yes.
the bike. 6-year-old Ginger was activated just now. So great. Lisa, love it. Thank you so much.
Great day, and really a great day for it. Meteorologist
goodness.
Jonathan Kagas.
Perfect.
Great temperatures out there.
Yeah, and we're going to see these temperatures continue to get warmer, if you like it, on the warmer side over the next really 7 to 10 days. We're back to the upper 60s now in Orlando. Slightly cooler to the north, but we have now shifted our wind direction to a more southeasterly component. We're going to be pumping in the warmth from South Florida back up the Florida Peninsula over the next couple of days, and that warmth is going to continue to build and continue to build. It's also going to help to bring us a few extra clouds from time to time, though. That's a live look downtown Orlando with our Light Orlando delivering Hope Skycam this evening. Air temperatures back to the upper 60s, the breeze out of the east at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. It's because we have that easterly breeze off of the Atlantic. It's helping to generate those extra clouds, a little more moisture in the atmosphere for those clouds to get going. And I think we'll see the same kind of deal tomorrow, especially once we get to the afternoon. Sanford, we are at 67 right now. Mount Dora, good evening. We are at 67 as well. Palm Bay, we're in the evening just about 5:20 tonight, and we are at 66 degrees. Mitco, we're checking in at 64. Now here's a look at tomorrow.
Your forecast is sponsored by Payne Law.
So it's going to be cool, but it is seasonably cool. It is right where we're supposed to be for this time of the year. Average low temperatures when you wake up in the morning in the low to mid-50s. That's exactly where we're going to be, mid-50s down the I-4 corridor, 52 in Ocala, Denell, and we are at 51 degrees. And then we start the real resurgence of the temperatures. We're going to head back towards the mid-70s, and that is also right where we should be for this time of the year. The deal is once we get into Thursday, Friday, and beyond, that's when we start to surge above where we should be for this time of the year. And some of that talk is going to be significant. Rest of this evening, we're going to see those clouds try to stream in. You see the little green specks on your screen. Every now and then, a stray sprinkle or a quick hitting shower can't be ruled out, especially on the coast, because we have that gentle breeze off of the Atlantic generating that extra moisture. They do not get that far inland tonight and into tomorrow either, because the air is still so dry. Although we are bringing in some of that extra moisture again from the south. Our breeze has now shifted out of the south and east, helping to pump in some of that warmth, and certainly much warmer tonight. I think we'll see a few extra clouds if you're heading out for the third night of Hanukkah. Again, sunset just in about 11 minutes, 67 degrees by 6 o'clock. We're staying in the lower 60s through midnight, again with a few of those extra clouds trying to push through. The warm-up is going to continue to build as we get closer to Christmas and into Christmas week. We're talking temperatures to start in the 50s. I think we're making a run for the mid to maybe even upper 70s. I think there will be places close by in Central Florida that make a run for the 80s, if not even jump into the low 80s. I think it's going to be a fairly warm Christmas. Warm this weekend, hanging around 80 degrees on Friday, right around 80 over the weekend, lower 80s Monday and Tuesday, guys.
Thank you. Well, the holidays look very similar for a lot of us.
Yeah, with a lot of packages stacked up on the front porch. And this year, law enforcement tell us that they are seeing more and more package thefts. What's behind this troubling trend? Next.
Well, it's the most wonderful time of the year, and that means you're probably getting more packages to your door than ever before. Well, now law enforcement are warning about porch pirates. You know, those are criminals who steal holiday packages from people's doorsteps. They've already taken around 104 million packages this year alone. CBS's Skylar Henry shows us what can be done.
I was so mad. I was just mad.
Atlanta resident Tanya Shepard says it happened to her in the middle of the day last month. A thief stealing her packages on a busy street. Security footage shows the porch pirate wave unsuspectingly to the camera, look to see if the coast is clear, then make off with boxes.
Are you hesitant to order?
I think you have to order in this day and time, but I do try to be more mindful about knowing when things are coming.
Shepard's packages were among the roughly 250,000 that are stolen nationwide every day. A study from home safety research company Safewise estimated the total value of the items lost in the past year alone at nearly $15 billion. As online holiday shopping ramps up, seeing thieves take off with goods is on the rise, prompting federal lawmakers to mull over legislation, including fines up to $250,000 and up to 10 years in prison.
Stealing any package will carry the same federal punishments across the board.
We stick with the 3 Ds: deter, detect, and deny.
Nick B. Thomas is the chief marketing officer for Atlanta-based Ackerman Security Systems.
On the porch, if you have some sort of light associated with your camera, they're not going to test it. You want the burglar to say, I ain't doing that.
Tanya Shepard says while what she lost can be replaced, she's being more vigilant about what she buys and when it arrives.
Think of people who couldn't afford to rebuy packages, you know what I mean? Or what if you had a kid and it was that one present and that's what got taken off your porch?
Can't believe people still do that, and that much. Well, a new report from Orange County shows the county is spending almost $100 a day to keep ICE detainees.
We hear from officials. That's coming up.
And the man who walked free after being accused of attacking a jogger in College Park is back behind bars, and it looks like he's going to stay there. Here's a live look at Daytona Beach. You're watching News 6. Looks like a postcard out there. This is actually not Daytona Beach, is it? You're watching News 6. We'll be right back.
Glad you're with us. I'm Ginger Gadsden.
I'm Matt Austin. You're watching News 6 at 5. We're following several top stories for you right now.
Right now, parents of students who attend Orange County schools are sounding off as the district considers closing 7 schools. District leaders are looking at consolidating schools because of a decline in enrollment. You can find a list of schools at clickorlando.com.
In Marion County, a mother is in custody in connection to a more than 40-year-old missing child case out of Kentucky. Police say Deborah Newton kidnapped her daughter Michelle back in 1983. Crime Stoppers tip notified police that Newton was living in the villages under the name Shannon. Now, 46-year-old Michelle Newton says she had no idea she was a victim. Deborah Newton is facing multiple charges, including custodial interference. And opening statements began today in the murder trial of a man accused of shooting and killing a store clerk in Leesburg. This happened in May of 2024. Alex Lopez is accused of killing Raid Shihadeh during a robbery at an M&M Food Mart. Investigators say Lopez snuck into the store, shot Shihadeh, then stole $100 from the register and a vape product. Prosecutors are seeking life in prison. Immigration advocates once again scrutinizing the relationship Orange County has with the federal government on immigration matters.
Your Orange County community correspondent Mike Valenti joins us now live outside the Orange County jail. And Mike, you have new information on the number of people in jail waiting to be picked up by ICE?
Yeah, Ginger, that's right. It was inside the Orange County Commission meeting today that we learned there are about 250 people behind me inside the Orange County jail who happen to have an ICE hold. Now, a little more than half of those have underlying state or local charges, but 120 of them, we learned, only have an ICE federal charge.
The rage that I feel at what America is right now is very, very real.
Immigration advocates outside the Orange County Administration Building Tuesday imploring county leaders to take legal action on 2 existing agreements with the federal government, the 287G and the IGSA.
The question that we have is, where is our county commission on this? Where is the lawsuit?
Under the 287G, Orange County corrections officers are deputized to perform ICE functions. And under the IGSA, which predates 287, Orange County houses federal inmates. In this case, we're talking about an ICE detainee, and the feds partially reimburse the county. $88 out of the approximately $180 the county says it costs to house an inmate per day.
The county has an even greater burden to steward our money.
I don't see a legal predicate or something that we're trying to clarify at this point that is necessary.
Mayor Jerry Demings at the commission meeting Tuesday, noting that while the county has engaged the U.S. Marshal Service in talks to renegotiate the IGSA to try to get a better reimbursement rate, he believes there's no grounds for a lawsuit on that matter or on the matter of the 287G Pact. And the mayor also suggested that immigration advocates direct their ire in other directions.
The resolution to this issue is not in these chambers. It is somewhere else.
Back outside the Orange County Jail tonight, in an email obtained by News 6, the chief of corrections wrote the mayor and commissioners that last month, the month of November, recorded one of the highest numbers of ICE bookings in the past year across all categories. We're live outside the Orange County Jail tonight. I'm your Orange County community correspondent, Mike Valenti, News 6.
Thank you, Mike. Well, in the last hour, we've learned Nick Reiner will be charged in the deaths of his parents, legendary filmmaker Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle. Both were found dead with multiple stab wounds in their home Sunday. Prosecutors in Los Angeles say Nick will be charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. He also faces a special allegation that he used a deadly weapon, which prosecutors say was a knife. Reiner's defense attorney, Alan Jackson, says his client could not be in court due to medical issues. Sources say the day before the murders, the father and son got into a heated argument at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party. Fans now grieving the loss of the Hollywood legend whose work they know by heart.
I and all my friends, we quote the lines from the movie all the time. My mind is just blown. And not just that he's gone, but how the circumstances.
The charges against Nick Reiner carry a maximum sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole or even the death penalty.
A man who took a plea deal and walked free on an attack on a jogger in College Park is now back behind bars. Days after his controversial release, Tyler Fight appeared before a judge for violating his probation. News 6's Mark Lehman shows us what happened in court.
After Monday's arrest, Tyler Fight learned he will remain in jail, at least for now. He also had some other words for the judge today. And all this happened after a witness knew he was wanted, saw him on the street, and flagged down an officer.
You've been arrested for a violation of probation.
During a first appearance Tuesday, Tyler Fight attempted to explain his situation to the judge.
Just couldn't find the bill.
Okay, you got to hold off.
That's what the problem is, apparently.
The 26-year-old is back in jail after he was spotted Monday near Howard Middle School in Orlando. Michael Loff saw him and called it in.
Earlier in the day, News 6 had sent out that push alert about, he was wanted again. A arrest warrant was issued for this Tyler guy.
Fight was wanted for violating the terms of his release by not showing up for a court-ordered mental evaluation and not telling his probation officer he changed his address. Court records show Fight was released last month after spending more than 7 months in jail for attacking a jogger in College Park.
He checked withhold of adjudication, and he shouldn't have. He should have checked adjudication.
State Attorney Monique Worrell admitted there was an oversight when the prosecutor filed Fight's plea agreement, but also said it wouldn't have changed his deal or impacted his status as a felon, as he had been convicted in a previous case. With violating probation now on the table, Fight was ordered to stay locked up.
The warrant is no bond.
During the first appearance, the judge told Fight his attorney could request bond at another hearing. By violating probation, Fight faces up to 5 years in prison on the battery charge. In Orlando, Mark Lehman, News 6.
We reached out to the Orange County State Attorney's Office about Fight's rearrest, and State Attorney Monique Worrell said in part, mental illness and homelessness are not problems the criminal legal system was built to solve, yet far too often they are forced into courtrooms as a substitute for care. In cases like this, prosecutors can impose conditions intended to create opportunities for intervention, but we do not control access to treatment, housing, or ongoing supervision. She went on to say, we have to see here, what we see here reflects broader gaps in our mental health system and underscores the urgent need for coordinated services that address these challenges before they escalate.
In Flagler County, deputies are investigating a crash that sent 2 members of the Sheriff's Office motor unit to the hospital. This happened near Palm Coast Parkway and Clubhouse Drive. We're told both were taken to the hospital with what the Sheriff's Office says are non-life-threatening injuries. The crash is being investigated by FHP tonight.
All right, well, it is definitely one of our favorite days here at News 6, Angel Tree Distribution Day.
Yeah, where we get to give out all the gifts you donated for kids and seniors across Central Florida. It is a good day. News 6 anchor Lisa Bell is out there live right now. Lisa, none of this happens without donations or the amazing volunteers out there with you.
Absolutely. And you can see some of those volunteers working hard behind me right now. They have been out here since early this morning. One of those volunteers is joining us now, Neri Thornbert from the Rotary Club of Avalon Park. Thank you so much for joining us and being here today. You actually got here at 10 o'clock this morning. You were supposed to leave at 2, but you stayed.
I did. This is a place that is hard to leave.
Yeah. And this is your second year now volunteering with the Salvation Army. Tell me about some of the stories and some of the people you met today.
Wow. I mean, there's been some tears shed, happy and sad ones. We had a lady that was early on in the morning that when we came to the prayer table, she shared the story that she had just gotten into this country 3 years ago. Her husband, who was in the country, had claimed her and her children. It took them 8 months to get here. They finally made it, but by the time they made it here, he was critically ill in a hospital. And apparently, whatever the illness he had, he was deformed and so on. So they didn't want the children to see him that way. He shortly after passed away. The children never got to see him. And this was 3 years ago. And the lady, as she is asking for prayer, she brought up how her 6-year-old's Christmas gift, a Christmas wish from Santa, was a hug from her dad. So that's how I started my day today. So, thank God there's boxes of tissues. We've heard of single mothers. We've heard from a lady who is here with her 3 children and dad just got deported, so they're all alone. So a lot of needy people here.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for doing what you're doing. We know that the work is continuing. There are thousands of gifts were sent home to people all across Central Florida today, and they will continue to do that. I know tomorrow's Osceola County. We also have senior citizens who are going to be receiving 1,000 of them some gifts this holiday season. So, of course, Matt and Ginger, as you said, none of it would be possible without the help of all of these volunteers, corporate sponsors who make it all happen, and News 6 viewers who've gone out and spent the past month shopping for these angels to spread some joy this holiday season. We'll send it back to you guys, but a lot of activity here at the Joy Center taking place, and it's a day that we all look forward to year round.
Yes, and a true team effort. Lisa Bell, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, now to a mystery in Miami.
A woman is found dead in a Dollar Tree freezer. Now police are saying there's no foul play. What we know right now, Jonathan.
Temperatures running about 5 to 10 degrees above where we were at this time yesterday, and we go even warmer from this point on into your weekend. We're going to pinpoint this huge weekend warm-up coming up at about 5:47.
And neighbors are pushing to keep a small farming road rural. Neighbors worry about safety, growth, and preserving the history, but some say improvements are needed. Where the discussions stand tonight.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Shark Coatings.
With more houses going up near road number 2, that means more cars will be on the road. I'm your Lake County community correspondent, Emily McLeod. Residents say they're concerned for their safety because the lanes are so narrow. You saw that car that just passed me. It barely had any room to fit in the lane. Now commissioners are trying to figure out the best way to handle this, and they say it's a conundrum.
Lanes are narrow as 7.5 feet in several different portions, so a large truck can't fit on it. Semi-trucks certainly can't fit on it. School buses can't fit on it.
Brittany Lurch lives on Bloomfield Road, just off of Number 2 Road. She uses the road every day and says she and her neighbors are worried about additional traffic on Number 2 Road with new developments on the way.
It's extremely unsafe, and for us that live there, we experience it every single day.
Now, during Tuesday's commission meeting, commissioners discussed safety improvements as well as transferring a portion of the road from Silverwood Lane to State Road 19 to the town of Howey in the Hills. Sandy Russ tells me she is against the idea of transferring the road.
As rural residents, we need some protection, and that's what the Lake County Commissioners are supposed to be doing for us. We vote them in. We have no voting ability for Leesburg or Howey council members or commissioners.
Lake County Commissioner Kirby Smith was in favor of transferring a portion of the road.
I'm of the opinion that we can keep the pressure on Howey and on Leesburg, let them take over the roads, and then we take the money saved from having to maintain the city roads and pour that money back into the stretch of 2.2 miles of road that's going to remain county and will probably always remain county.
But Commissioner Leslie Campione pushed back.
One of the worst situations you find yourself in as a commissioner when you have unincorporated residents that are asking for help and you have literally ceded your control over being able to help with the situation.
Now, commissioners ultimately voted to hold off on transferring the road for another 6 months. In the meantime, they've implemented some safety improvements, including lowering the speed limit and adding reflectors to the center line. For now, reporting in Lake County, I'm your Lake County community correspondent, Emily McLeod, News 6.
Police in Miami say they do not suspect foul play after a woman was found dead inside a freezer at a Dollar Tree.
An employee found her body Sunday morning. Investigators say the 32-year-old went to the store the night before but didn't buy anything. She went into an employee-only area where the freezer is located. She was found dead the following morning.
Queda uno como que está pasando y eso y sí un poco.
You start thinking about what's going on, and I got concerned with what I just learned, that there was a person found dead.
So according to a GoFundMe page, the woman was an anesthesiologist and the mother of 2 kids. Officers say the circumstances surrounding her death are under investigation now, though again, they have ruled out any foul play. Just a strange story. Yeah.
All right, time now for a look at our forecast with meteorologist Jonathan Kegas. And every time you're in front of that Port Canaveral camera, and it's just so, look at that shot behind you.
It's fantastic. Yeah, all lit up tonight as it's getting ready to head out, it looks like. We have temperatures nice and mild this evening. A couple of raindrops on the lens. We were talking about the opportunity for a few of those stray sprinkles to work their way in back off the Space Coast and off of the Atlantic Ocean because of that breeze shifting to that more easterly component. You see a few clouds in play there. That is a live look with our Launch Credit Union camera this evening. There is that wind direction right off the Atlantic out of the east, generating a couple of those showers that are moving through again, just right along the coast. Otherwise, we're keeping that breeze certainly a little bit lower than what we had yesterday, but still at about 10 to 15 miles an hour through the evening. Tomorrow, it'll go down a little bit more to about 10 miles an hour as we move into the afternoon through parts of the early evening. We are going to keep the breeze off of the Atlantic, though, out of the east. Again, keeping that opportunity for the extra clouds by the afternoon and a couple of stray showers at times. Again, most of us will be on the drier side again. Mount Dora, we're at 56. When you wake up tomorrow morning, Palm Coast, we're also at 56 degrees. Holopah, we are checking in at 57. Now here's a look at your afternoon.
Your forecast is sponsored by Advent Health.
Temperatures get back to right where we should be for this time of the year. Mid-70s is going to be your high. Average high temperatures at 74. We'll see a few of those extra clouds again build at times through the afternoon because of the extra moisture supplied by the Atlantic. Rain chances again as a whole at about 0%. There will be just that very slim opportunity right up and down the coast tomorrow as that breeze again remains off of the ocean. We continue to warm up tomorrow. You're really going to notice it in the 7-day forecast as we get into the weekend and then beyond as we head into Christmas week. This is going to be fast forwarding to the 22nd of December here. This is going to be Monday. So hanging on to a little bit of a chill into the Northeast and Great Lakes. All this red on the map, that's the anomaly of the temperature. So the redder the color, the warmer relative to normal it is going to be. And you see the purple really just shine there through the nation's midsection. All of that warmth kind of builds into Central Florida as well. So if you're traveling this Christmas, a lot of the nation is going to be much, much warmer. than what it should be for this time of the year. We're talking potentially getting up to the mid-70s in Oklahoma City, around 70 in St. Louis. Here, we could be pushing 80 degrees on Christmas Day. I think most of us will be at least into the mid-70s on Christmas Day. So a warm 7 to 10-day stretch and beyond rolling down the pipeline. 78 on Thursday, slightly better opportunity for a couple of stray downpours, even in interior Central Florida. We're right around 80 on Friday, staying around 80 over the weekend. Lower 80s, guys, as we get into next Monday and Tuesday.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. Well, a new way to get groceries is coming to Orlando.
And you won't even need to leave your house to get them. A preview of the new drone technology that'll be coming soon to Orlando. That's next.
Coming up in the morning, the cost to build a home in one Central Florida city going way up.
Yeah, where leaders say they need some more cash to keep up with a booming population.
Plus, the first of Orlando's big bowl games is kicking off. We'll tell you about all the road closures you need to know about.
We'll see you for News 6 Mornings, starting at 6.
Well, we've talked about it for years, but drone deliveries are actually coming to Central Florida.
Your Orange County community correspondent Jana Manahalal got a glimpse of the future and how it could change the way people shop.
It's the sound of the future. Delivery drones lifting off, hovering, then gently lowering packages from above. Walmart and the drone delivery company Wing brought the technology to Orlando City Hall, showing off the newest way to shop.
You have just witnessed the first official drone delivery in the city of Orlando this morning, so mark that date on your calendar.
Last week, Claremont approved zoning changes to allow Walmart to launch its delivery drone hub. On Tuesday in Orlando, the company showed what that would look like. This drone weighs about 11 pounds and can carry up to 2 pounds. So it's great for if you're making pasta and you forget pasta sauce at the store, it'll deliver it right to your front door in about 30 minutes. The drones fly up to 60 miles per hour, cruising 150 feet above the ground and dropping packages right to your feet.
We have FAA approvals, we are safe, that is our #1 priority, and we're here just to try to make their lives a little bit better.
Education is especially important after a man in Claremont was arrested last year for shooting down a Walmart drone.
If you shoot a drone out of the sky, the federal government sees you shot an aircraft out of the sky. You're endangering people and property on the ground.
So could this be the future of retail?
It certainly could be. I think it'd be disingenuous to say it's not going to be.
Drone deliveries could start as early as 2026. For now, reporting in Orange County, your community correspondent, Jana Manahal, News 6.
All right, we're going to get stuff even quicker pretty soon. Well, some schools in Central Florida's biggest district could close because of low enrollment.
Leaders are meeting right now to talk about this possibility. Coming up next on News 6 at 6, we're live at the meeting that could impact where your child learns. That's next.
Plus, a new Florida law causing confusion for drivers and their license plates. So, is the frame you get from the dealership even legal? I'm going to look into it for you next. Try to get you some answers. Here's a live look at downtown Orlando from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope camera. You're watching News 6. We'll be right back.
Now on News 6 at 6, what's next for 7 Orange County schools? The update from district leaders as they weigh closing them because of low enrollment. Plus,
could the last person to have seen a missing mother of 4 have dumped her body here? Because police still haven't found Marissa Garcia's remains, her family is joining a new search.
And is your license plate frame legal?
The biggest difference is how it's now going to be able to be penalized, right? So instead of a traffic infraction, now it's a criminal offense.
I'm digging into a new state law to see if you need to remove the plastic frames so many of us have on our cars. News 6 at 6 starts now.
We're going to start by talking about closing down schools. That's the topic of an Orange County School Board discussion this afternoon. OCPS says they have more than half a dozen schools operating at about 50% enrollment, and it is costing them millions of dollars. So News 6 Orange County community correspondent Troy Campbell is live outside where that meeting is taking place. And Troy, we just heard from district leaders about how much money and how big of a factor that money is.
Yeah, Matt, it seems to all come down to money. So we just stepped outside of the meeting where it is going on behind me. We heard from the superintendent who did recommend that they go ahead with the closure, saying the district simply can't afford to pay to operate these schools when they don't have the right enrollment number. Now, that's being met with concern by several school board members. So just to catch you up, the Orange County School Board, our school district, they're looking at closing 7 schools. The reason for this is the district says there's been a 4% decline in enrollment over the past 3 years. They say this has amounted in nearly 10,000 students. The district is citing several reasons for this, including a drop in birth rates and families choosing charter schools instead. As a solution, the board is discussing right now moving students to newer facilities in the district. The list of possible school closures include Union Park Middle School, Bonneville Elementary, Chickasaw Elementary, Orla Vista Elementary, as well as Eccleston, Meadowwoods, and McCoy Elementary Schools. Now, moments ago, we heard from Vice Chair Maria Salamanca, who expressed her concern closing a school that she actually went to herself.
That gap there has existed for a couple years now. Obviously, some of these had some relief during COVID. Why are we doing this now? And if we did know that this capacity was below, why didn't we communicate it as much to the families for that? Many of them felt that they could have done more to save their schools if they knew that this was where we were heading.
The reason that we are looking at it currently is because we no longer have the dollars to subsidize all of those schools. And so if we choose not to consolidate, then when we begin our budget process, which begins in January, we will need to look at the reductions in programs and services at each of those schools.
And again, the district pointing to money as the main factor. They also say if they go ahead with the closures, they will host 2 meetings at each site. 1 meeting with the staff of the school and 1 meeting with the community in the area. So again, that meeting is happening right now here behind me. I'm going to go step back inside, see what those board members have to say, and we'll continue to keep you updated tonight starting at 10 and 11. Until then, live in Orlando, Troy Campbell, News 6. Back to you.
Troy, thank you. Meantime, in Brevard County, Cape Canaveral leaders holding a meeting to discuss a similar topic. They're talking about the future of the city's only elementary school. We told you before, Cape View Elementary School could close because of low enrollment there. If the city chooses to close the school, nearly 300 students would be moved to Roosevelt Elementary. It's about 7 miles away in Cocoa Beach. This proposal has drawn some pushback, with more than 2,000 people signing an online petition to keep the school open, as parents say this proposal would have a negative impact on their families.
Making us late to work, possibly. So it's a lot of different things that it could do. It's great having a school in the community.
But it does not change the livelihoods of what Cape View means to our family. There's no getting around the convenience of Cape View.
Leaders say on top of low enrollment, it would just cost too much to renovate the school and keep it open moving forward. The meeting started just minutes ago. We're going to continue to follow what leaders say, and we'll give you updates on it. Developing tonight, Leesburg police announcing a search for 2 persons of interest in a deadly weekend shootings. Take a look at their pictures. These are James Fenderson IV and DeAndre White. If you know where these men are, you're asked to call Leesburg Police or Crime Line. 18-year-old Juan Gomez Jr. was shot to death on Sunday. He was found dead in a car in Berry Park. Investigators have not yet released a motive in the shooting. We were the first to break the new details about that person of interest on the News 6 app. To get your app, just search WKMG in your app store. State Attorney Monique Worrell is reacting tonight after a man accused of attacking a jogger in College Park was rearrested yesterday. Tyler Fight was taken into custody yesterday, accused of violating the probation he received as a sentence in the attack. According to an arrest warrant, Fight violated his probation by changing his address before letting his probation officer know first. According to the warrant, Fight also missed his psychosexual evaluation, also a part of his probation. Fight will remain in the Orange County Jail with his arraignment set for Monday. State Attorney Worrell says there are gaps in the justice system when it comes to mental health. In a statement sent to our newsroom, Worrell says this case shows the gaps in that system and highlights a need for service to help these challenges before any escalation happens. A new search for any trace of a young mom missing since 2 days before Christmas 2 years ago. In a major update Friday, your Palm Bay community correspondent James Sparvero finally got some answers from police about what happened. Well, now James is with the family again as police continue to look for remains.
Could the last person to have seen a missing mother of four have dumped her body here? Last week, in an update to my reporting about the mysterious disappearance of Marissa Garcia, Palm Bay police finally made an arrest in connection to the 2023 case. 32-year-old Stephen Eid is facing charges like disturbing a dead body. 2 years ago, police say Eid picked up Garcia to pay her to have sex, but according to him, she overdosed. According to an affidavit, Eid told police he tried CPR but never called 911. Instead, he threw Marissa's phone in the woods and then brought her body here, an hour away, on Hammock Road in Mims.
She didn't deserve to be dumped on the side of a road. No person, no human does.
Because police still haven't found Marissa's remains, her mother Michelle joined a new search Tuesday.
Why are we standing here and not knowing exactly where she is? We're on another goose chase looking for a body that's not here.
What gives you hope that something might change now?
God. It's God that's got me standing here today, strong enough to even come here and look and wrap my brain around the fact that something like this could happen.
I wanted to ask police Tuesday about the investigation, but I was told Chief Mario Agello wasn't available. Here's what Michelle would like to say to Stephen Eid. He's out on bond now.
Tell us exactly where she is. You know where you dropped her. There's no way you could have forgotten where you took her out of the truck and put her body. And I ask you to come forth and tell the truth.
And as this search continues, I'll continue to keep you updated on any new developments. In Brevard County, I'm your Palm Bay community correspondent, James Sparvero, News 6.
New at 6 now, next year's Brevard County Renaissance Fair has been canceled. The fair said it was trying to find a location for next year, but just couldn't reach a deal for the event. It's not the first time the fair has had to move locations. 2 years ago, it moved to a vacant lot in Melbourne off Wickham and Sarno Roads. Some said the new spot was too close to a landfill, causing a funky smell for guests. The fair says it plans on coming back in 2027. Well, your license plate could land you in jail. Or maybe not. Since the new state law went into effect in October, the reactions to the changes have frankly been all over the place. And I'm not just talking about for drivers, but for law enforcement too. So I went to the experts to get some answers for you, none of which will make you feel any better about that frame on your license plate.
Whether it's the dealership that sold you the car, your alma mater, or just something that speaks to your soul, even your Kia soul, the license plate frame has become a common feature and could land you in jail. Or not. Nobody seems to know. The Florida Sheriff's Association was proud to say its frame is fine, but that's about it. Ocoee police told drivers that a frame that hides even a small section can lead to a second-degree misdemeanor. So did the state attorney in Southwest Florida. Then there's the Volusia Sheriff with this lengthy post declaring as long as the numbers and letters are visible as well as the yellow sticker, you're okay. Or are you? News 6 found more than a dozen recent cases where drivers got tickets under the new law, including several in Fruitland Park, like this one with a frame featuring palm trees.
Clearly a lot is blocked on this.
A lot is blocked on this. Primarily the issue here is the bottom.
Rachel Maddie is a criminal defense attorney with the Umansky Law Firm. She calls the new law vague, warning its intent may be to go after people intentionally trying to hide their plates with shields and mechanical devices, but that's not how it can be interpreted.
Because of the way that it's actually worded. The statute says you cannot alter the original appearance of your license plate in any way. The biggest difference is how it's now going to be able to be penalized, right? So instead of a traffic infraction, now it's a criminal offense.
News 6's Trooper Steve stresses while officers may not be looking to pull you over for slightly covering the tag, they can.
The law is basically saying anything that obstructs that tag can get you pulled over. To be safe, as long as your tag frame is not covering any text, I don't care if it's the top where it says Florida or the bottom where it says the Sunshine State or your county, then you're good to go.
Or you could just remove the frame altogether. Or not.
All right, so I was able to get some clarification from the state in this memo right here. So the state tells us Volusia is correct. As long as the license plate numbers and decals are not covered, your frame is permitted. We'll see if that sticks. There were no winners in last night's Powerball drawing, meaning you still have a chance to win big with the jackpot expected to hit $1.25 billion. And speaking of winning big, bowl season in Orlando kicks off tomorrow. We're looking at the matchup for the Cure Bowl in sports. And here's a live look at Orlando. This is our Angel Tree Distribution Day. Well underway now. We're checking in with News 6 anchor Lisa Bell to see how it's going after the break. Jonathan.
Warming up today. It's even going to get even further warmer. Even warmer tomorrow. We're going to pinpoint how warm we get for the weekend and looking beyond into Christmas week in a few minutes.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Advent Health.
Well, it is one of our favorite days of the year. It's Angel Tree Distribution Day, the culmination of a 5-week partnership with the Salvation Army and BFAR Contracting to bring Christmas to 5,000 kids and 1,000 seniors. News 6 anchor Lisa Bell joins us live from the Joy Center as those gifts are now being handed out. Lisa?
Yeah, Matt, we are getting into the home stretch of what has been an unforgettable day here at the Joy Center. You can see volunteers are starting to clean up after a very, very busy day. Families were showing up here since 8 o'clock this morning to pick up bags of gifts, thanks to the generous donations of News 6 viewers. One by one, families have been lining up to pick up a stocking and a teddy bear. They then have received their bag of gifts, each item picked out based on the child's needs and Christmas wishes. Now, between parents and volunteers, everyone we spoke to today say it is a huge blessing.
It means everything. I'm a single mother of 4, and even just this bear, I'm so excited to give to my baby already. It means everything. You know, it's just a blessing. Times are so hard. Sometimes people are barely, making it with groceries. I was literally right there this month. So this is just a blessing to be able to make Christmas happen. I'm so grateful for the community.
It's just a warm thing to do at Christmas. I mean, just to know that little kids are going to, see their dreams come true.
And back out here live joining us now is Major Roger Glick with the Salvation Army. So what a day. How'd it go today?
I think today was overwhelming and it was satisfying today. It was just incredible.
Thousands of people came here and picked up their gifts. You have trees full of prayer requests after today. You heard so many emotional stories today, and it's going to continue tomorrow. Tell me about that.
It is. Tomorrow we're going to have people who missed their appointment today, but we're going to have people who kind of came late, and we said, hey, we will be able to help you, once we have everything sorted, and so everyone's going to get helped, and that's the great news.
And so after all is said and done, 5,000 kids, 1,000 seniors will have something special this holiday season. So when does work begin for next year?
January 2nd. It starts. We, you know what? Every year you learn some lessons, right? Yeah. You learn some takeaways. So we'll have a meeting afterward, and we actually will begin. So we look forward to working with you guys again. And can I just say, y'all have been fantastic. It's my first year here, and the entire crew at Channel 6 has been over the top fantastic.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. One of the things that was new here was the ability for people to make a prayer request. And you said, fill out what you would like us to pray for. And if you want, put it on the Christmas tree. Those trees are full.
Those trees are full. And I'll just tell you really quickly, one of the prayer requests was someone who's waiting for a kidney transplant. Another one was a woman who came today who was in an abusive relationship. It just so happened that the lady who was at the table knew someone at a shelter and got her out of this relationship. So what I love about the prayer tree is it's so personal. It's if you want to, you can. If you don't want, you don't have to. And so we're taking all those prayer requests and we're taking them back to the Salvation Army, and we have hundreds of people who will begin to pray for those. So today wasn't the only day we're praying for people. We're taking them with us.
I love that. All right, we're going to send it back to you guys in the studio. It has been a wonderful day out here at the Joy Center. Distribution Day. Matt, year after year, it's something we look forward to, and today was a big success.
Yeah, I always love the stories. It's fascinating. I'm also super interested in how they make all that run logistically, because it's amazing how they do it. Lisa Bell, thank you so
incredible.
Much. Great stuff out there. All right, let's get you over to meteorologist Jonathan Kegas for a look at these temperatures that seem to be changing all the time.
All the time, the ups and downs. And now we're going to be on the up, and I think for the most part, for the next 7 to 10 days and likely a little bit beyond, they're going to be on the upside of things. Mid-60s right now in Orlando, nice and comfy out there. A few extra clouds in play that's going to help to keep us on the warmer side overnight. You can stay up to date with the forecast, of course, by downloading the free News 6 weather app. You can kind of see those clouds out there off the lights of the city. That's a live look in downtown Orlando with our Light Orlando. Delivering Hope Skycam tonight, we have air temperatures back to the mid-60s. The breeze is out of the east-northeast at about 5 to 10 miles an hour, again, under that mostly cloudy sky. I think we'll see a similar day tomorrow, likely a couple of notches warmer, but with those clouds coming back into the afternoon. Temperatures back to the mid-60s in Sanford. We're at 64 degrees in Mount Dora. Titusville, we are at 66 degrees. Now here's a look at tomorrow.
Your forecast is sponsored by Strata Services.
Temperature is going to get back into the mid-50s to start. So it's still a cool morning, but we were seasonably cool, certainly much warmer than what we woke up to this morning and yesterday morning. We're at 60 in Daytona Beach. Ocala, we're going to start things off in the low 50s tomorrow morning. High temperatures then climb into the mid to upper 70s once we get into the afternoon. We'll keep a mainly cloudy sky, especially once we get into the afternoon. I think we start off with a little bit of sunshine to start. Rain chances basically at 0%, just like what we're seeing tonight. Couple of stray showers right along the coast, trying to sneak on shore with that breeze off of the Atlantic, helping to give us those few extra clouds and a couple of stray showers. Playing that out for you right here in the future clouds and rain. You see those couple of showers. It's kind of lingering through the evening. A few of those try to connect and make their way on shore. As we have the motion back out of the south and east, it's not only pumping in some extra warmth, but also a little bit of moisture. Again, there's 7 o'clock on your Wednesday morning. A few clouds along the coast, clearer skies the further away from the Atlantic you are, and then just kind of in and out of the clouds with a stray passing shower as we get into the next couple of days. I think that we're going to keep that trend into Thursday as well. Third night of Hanukkah tonight, sun has been down for almost an hour now. Rest of the evening looking very nice on the milder side when we continue into the rest of the evening, at least when compared to last night. We're going to be in the low to mid 60s, and that warm up just continues as we move into the upcoming weekend and continue into Christmas week. We're talking temperatures around 50 or so, I think mid 50s to start for your morning on Christmas Day. And we could be making a run for 80 degrees. I think it's going to be that warm as we move forward. As a big chunk of high pressure, that's going to be Christmas Eve. You see that chunk of high pressure start to build, and that sends all of the warmth in our direction. Again, that's going to be next week, and really that's what we start to see as we get into the upcoming weekend. Hanging around 80 on Friday. We keep the temperatures around 80 over the weekend. Lower 80s Monday and Tuesday, guys.
All right. Nice looking forecast, sir. All right, Ryan is in for Jamie tonight. The shorthanded Magic are trying to turn the page right now.
Yeah, the team is still a little bummed about getting bounced from the NBA Cup, and they're also a little injured too. Jalen Suggs, he's hurt, along with Franz Wagner, all while a big road trip looms. We'll hear from Suggs coming up in sports. Before we go to break, is it Tua to the bench? Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel told reporters today he's considering it after last night's lackluster performance in Miami's 28-15 loss to the Steelers. We'll be right back. Welcome back to News 6. The Orlando Magic will head back out west for the start of a 4-game swing that tips off Thursday in Denver. The team is dealing with another injury, this one to Jalen Suggs. News 6's Nathaniel Rivas has reaction from Suggs at today's practice.
Today was more of a reflective day for the Magic. They're back from Vegas after losing in the NBA Cup and prepping for a week-long West Coast road trip. The Magic are also pushing through injuries to star players Franz Wagner and Jalen Suggs, who spoke today after a hip contusion has him sidelined indefinitely.
I'm doing good. We gotta just work on the body, work on the mind, get everything right, and get ready back to roll. I talk about it a ton, just in terms of seeing the game from a different perspective, and like I said, taking care of the body. So really all of my focus is that right now.
The cup is over with. You know, we're not going to Denver just yet. And then today we have to win today, and I think we did that. We did a great job defending. We did a great job communicating. Competitive nature was there. I mean, that's all the focus was today, was win the day and how do we learn from the experience of being in the cup, what it's like being on that stage and that spotlight.
The Magic have always preached next man up mentality. Mosley said everyone else will be needed in the next games, including the Nuggets this Thursday and the Warriors next Monday. Covering the Magic, Nathaniel Rivas, News 6.
All right, Nathaniel, nice to see Mo Wagner out there doing some drills. To football, where another Florida Gator has put his name into the transfer portal, wide receiver Aiden Mizell, an Orlando native and Boone High grad, exploring options. Mizell just wrapped up his junior season in Gainesville. He's got 38 career catches and 3 touchdowns as a Gator. It is playoff week on the College Gridiron. Game 1 Friday, but Saturday is the big one with 3 contests, including Miami at Texas A&M in a 7-10 matchup. The Canes slight underdogs, but both programs sound ready for the challenges ahead.
When you're playing great teams like this, great players, great coaches, you have to play fast and you have to play with confidence. And there can't be any hesitation, any flinch in your game or your mindset.
We haven't won a championship around here since 1939, so that's a lot of busts if that's the only marker. So I think we're obviously in this thing to compete for a national championship.
And we're hours away from kickoff of Orlando's bowl season. USF and Old Dominion set to square off in the Staff DNA Cure Bowl tomorrow at 5. The bowl has raised more than $6 million for cancer research and awareness to this point. Tough to find a more meaningful bowl game out there.
It is the best. Yes. Absolutely. Ryan, thank you so much. More news coming up at 9 o'clock on clickorlando.com and the News 6 Plus streaming app. Have yourself a great Tuesday night.